So we stayed there and we took pictures and we looked and looked and looked, and one of the buffalo stopped in his tracks, and the guy's trying to pull it, and he makes a great big poop right there, this great plop thing there. And I thought to myself, oh my God, who's gonna ever walk in that thing? Oh, well, who walked in it? Betty walked in it. Holy Christ. So we teased her no end. So we had to go back up the mud hill. Well, if we thought it was bad coming down, it was just as bad going back up. It was terrible. But we were getting used to it by that time. And then we went and had lunch, of course, and tried to wash ourselves up and clean up. And then in the afternoon, we went to see the caves. He said, we're going to see the caves, the skull caves. Well, I didn't know if I wanted to go along or not, because I'm not too happy in caves. I don't like that. That's like being in elevators alone. But I thought, well, I'll go as far as I can go and see. Ralph, he stayed home. He wanted to lay down. He's still sick. And so we went there and we walked through a real nice forested area. They have such beautiful tropical plants and trees. And then we got to the caves and we started walking up, climbing up, and they were these limestone caves. And it looked like when you go to Walt Disney and you see how they've made these cement things, with weird looking caves and that stuff. That's what it looked like. But it wasn't that, because it was real. And they were filled with holes and openings and cracks and that. And every place there was thousands of bones and skulls. And that was okay. At least they were at peace, and they were someplace there. And they had boats filled with people. And they had one area there, I don't know, this must have been a rich person that did it, and he made an area by taking stones and stoning in, so that you looked like you were looking at a giant television screen there. It was a big opening, I mean huge opening, and there must have been like 20 people in there, standing, sitting, with clothes on, and clothes were almost in tatters. It must have been there 100 years, they were just falling off of these people. But they weren't people. They were wooden carvings of the people who died, and then they put them up there. And that was very interesting. At least these guys were at peace, that's what I say. But those poor pigs and water buffaloes, I hate that. But this is customs, gosh, and you have to go with it. But I just hate to see people killing things. But then they said, well, they're going to give all the meat away too. But this is necessary. This land that we're in, this island, this part of this island, is just like a travel agent's calendar. I'm telling you, it's spectacular. They have high mountains and cliffs and bluffs and rivers with rapids running through the whole place, and rice terraces. It never ends. And the people that are out there are working in the fields, and I'm telling you, you can't believe it. It's just like a scene out of a travelogue. You're looking, you think, oh my God, look at this, is just gorgeous. And of course these rice terraces are all in the valleys, and of course this is where the people live. And they have houses, when a water buffalo has horns, they go up on each side of his head, and they go out, and then they go up, they curve up. And so they make their houses with the ends of the house going up. Both ends go way up, and they're intricately carved. Even the poor houses, they have carvings on them. But they have one big house like that. It really isn't that big. We went in one, and you have to climb 20 feet up in the air to get to the house. And there was only 3 sections to it. One was a bed kind of cramped in the room, and another was the general area, and then there was another room over there, and I'm sure that's where they're cooking.